Thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
Thank you for, Jesus Christ, thank you. Thank you. I'm humbled and I'm grateful that I'm here with you. Thank you.
Dr. Meyer is an amazing connector, as we
Yeah.
just talked about, and I'm so grateful to have you in this space to talk about ancestral trauma. But first, I would like to ask you where your name came from. It's so beautiful and unique, and you're from Estonia, so I'd love to hear your background story.
I'm sure that so many people during the last 5 years, maybe even more, 6 years, have had the feeling that their name doesn't serve them anymore. It means that people have fallen from their head to their hearts. And the thing is that when you if you fall into your heart, it means that you start to listen to your soul more than your head. And what happened with me that in 2017 I had a Sun Kundalini awakening, spiritual awakening, and suddenly the world kind of like collapsed, and I couldn't fit in anymore to this, let's say, matrix, even if we don't go this deep. But the thing is that my name didn't serve me anymore. I used to work as a TV host for 15 years until 2017. It all ended. I couldn't serve my people the way I was serving them. I couldn't do the work I was doing before that 2017, before the awakening, because it was TV shows are very short-living stories. I prepare, I provide, and I do the whole pre-work, pre-production for maybe a year, and then you have this half an hour time on air. But for me, I felt like I want to have these stories like to be longer, to be deeper. I want to be in the stories, and my own story had to change in order to go to other people's stories. So because of this awakening process, I started to see, I started to hear, I started to feel things that I couldn't explain anymore. And one day I just closed my eyes and I saw myself on big stages, like on big stage. And at that moment I was in my 0 point where I didn't even know what's going to happen with my life, because I just quit my job as a TV host. And I closed my eyes and suddenly I saw myself on the stage, big stage. And I heard the host on the stage calling my name. And I listened and it's not my name. It's not my name that they're calling. It's someone else's name. And I heard Carmiola. I was like, who's that? Who's that? And I saw myself going on the stage. I was like, is it me? Like, how can it be? It's me. It's not my name. My name is Carmen. My name is Carmen Britson. And then I stood there observing, and this Carmiola went on stage. And then I asked myself, if she's Carmiola, who is she? And I got the message, she's a teacher. Oh my God, how come that I'm a teacher? Because I just quit my job as a TV host. I didn't have any education as being a coach or teacher. I was just in my 0 point, just in a pain, just in a dark. I was having a period of dark period of the soul. So I went through all my pain. I was lying down, and this moment changed my life because I started to go deeper. Next morning I went for a walk and I suddenly got the surname De Santura, and I was like, what is that? What is that? And suddenly there was a winter time. I wrote on the snow Carmiola De Santura, and I knew that that's my name. I just got my name. And when I looked into behind the story of the story, who is that person? There is no Carmiola De Santura. I'm the only one. What does it mean? It means a woman from sacred place. So that's it. And this weekend, I experienced the first time when I was asked on the stage as Carmiola De Santura. So it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
You envisioned it. And it
I
came
envisioned
to
that
life.
and it happened, yeah. I just
Wow.
I went through it, and I believe that it's one day it's gonna happen, one day it's gonna happen. But it took me, oh my God, 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, to actually come home. Yeah,
Such an amazing experience.
thank you.
And
yeah.
just watching you speak on Dr. Meyer's phone when she was sitting in the audience, it gave me chills. And your energy and your presence has such depth to it. And even just sitting still here with you, I feel it. I feel your energy and I feel your warmth, and it's very inspiring. That
Thank you.
story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I have a gift for you. Because you're working with so many people, and I just said that we have to come from our head to our soul, to our heart in order to be connected with our soul. Our soul always whispers to us, but we want to hear our soul yelling at us.
Yes.
But if we're very quiet, then we have the conversation. We have the conversation. I have a little thing here. So this is the opening your heart, and this is for you.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
This is the essential oil that I started to make
It's beautiful.
in order to help people.
It smells beautiful, and this means a lot to me. I don't open up a lot about my love life on the podcast, but I just got out of a relationship, so opening your heart feels very timely and right now.
It's so interesting that people
Thank
think
you.
that when I give them the opening in our heart oil, they start immediately talk about relationship, but has nothing to do with your ability or responsibility to open your heart for yourself, so that you wouldn't be disconnected
Right.
from your heart, because we get disconnected by the noise. So
Right.
that brings you to the divine connection.
Back to center.
Back to center. Well said.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
this beautiful gift. I'm excited to use this and go on this journey. And it's so interesting to have you here today. Dr. Meyer was talking about your expertise in ancestral trauma and healing and genetics, and I'm adopted, so I don't know anything about my ancestral history or blood-related relatives or anything. So this is going to be a wild, exciting, and very appropriate experience for me at this time in my life.
Do you have the story about you?
I have a general sense. So basically, I was adopted from China at 13 months old by my two loving parents who live in the town next door to Dr. Meyer's office in New Hampshire. And I know I was left at a train station. I think I was in the orphanage for about a year before I was adopted. I had a nanny who was very kind and warm. I have pictures of us together. But back in the day, back in 1999 when I was born, there was a one-child law in China, so I probably have other siblings, and I was the second, and they only wanted to keep boys because they could get educated and get jobs. So I was part of that whole history, that time block that actually just ended, and China stopped all international adoptions as of a few months ago. And when I found that out, for some reason it like really struck me in a strange way, because I realized my story is unique, even though there's so many of us, as Dr. Meyer has told me, that shared that same path. So it's just a very interesting thing, and I don't ever really lead with it. I usually forget I'm adopted. I'm grateful, and I had such amazing parents who celebrated the adoption, and I never felt less than because of it. I think it helped me in a lot of ways, but what I realize is in my interpersonal relationships, my more romantic relationships, maybe it's affected that in some way, and I had to dig deep and do a lot of healing and meditation and prayer when it came to going back to my old abandoned self as a baby, I think, and just telling her that it was okay.
You know, when your mother was waiting for you, what do you think what was her biggest fear?
My birth mother,
Mm-hmm.
probably knowing that she couldn't keep me,
That she's gonna
had to let me go.
let you go, and not even let you go. I think not even touching you or not even reading your energies, I know that your biggest fear could be that what if I'm left? I cannot trust people because maybe I will be left alone. What's the word for English for that?
Abandoned.
Abandoned, exactly.
Yeah.
And because the thing is that when your mother was waiting for you, she knew that she's gonna abandon you. And because of her fear, what's gonna happen with you, she could have killed you, but she didn't. She wanted you to live. And that's very, very important. She knew that she's gonna abandon you, and you got it from her mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your gene. It's the fear, the worry. What's gonna happen with her? Would somebody find her? And as being connected with your mother in her womb, I think that your soul, even if I don't know if you've met with your mother, I don't think so, you're connected. You are connected with your mother. And Mom, don't worry about me. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna survive. Best people will adopt me. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna be there for me. And I'm gonna do something good for humanity. Because I know that you didn't want to give me away or abandon me. But you knew I'm gonna survive. And that's why I survived.
Mm.
Our stories are always connected with our mother, because the connection with your mother is the connection with your life. The fears of your mothers are the fears of the daughters, because they are connected. But also the service that you do is connected with your mother's fears. And people who are adopted, they should not say that I was left. You were not left. Your mother had to make a choice. And at this moment, that was the best choice for you.
Right.
And even if maybe it's for other people who still wonder if their mothers or fathers love them, it's never the question, did they love me? The question is why they were suffering,
Right.
why they had to make this decision. And then you get this feeling that I can forgive them. I can forgive to my mother. I can be free by forgiving her. By forgiving her, I can forgive myself. And I can serve people. I don't have to talk through my pain. I can talk through the love, through opening your heart. And I think that's just not even reading your energy. I think that's an important message that people would get from this conversation, that they're not alone. You share their stories so they can relate with you and forgive.
Thank you for saying that. It's definitely been a journey.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever recognized it as abandonment until actually a few years ago, then thinking about how it actually came to be and why this happened. But I feel like I was able to forgive myself and forgive the situation because it was out of her control in a lot of ways. And it ultimately led me to this amazing place in the US and given me so many experiences and opportunities that I wouldn't have had in China.
Yeah.
And I feel ultimately so grateful for that, because it's a very small percentage of people that probably came from the same scenario and ended up where I am today.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
I get to your reading. Is this still on? I go to you a reading, but I think that before we do that, I want to share something about transgenerational traumas. People think that, oh my God, transgenerational trauma, I don't have it. I don't have traumas.
Right.
I don't. How do I know that I have traumas? How do I know that I don't have traumas? The thing is that people should take a look into is, for example, in my life there have been many synchronicities, many coincidences. Synchronicities are based on our age. The same common events in our family system happen at the same age range. So that, for example, for me it was the year of 13, the number 13. My granddad was 13 when he had to escape from Siberia, where he was deported from Estonia because he had to survive the hunger. And his mother put him in animal wagon and told him that go to Estonia, you'll find your relatives there. This is my story that started with my granddad. And then when my mom was, so he had to leave his childhood behind. So there is a tag. Something happened, and it's never what happened, but what happened in this happening with our feelings. What we decided at this particular moment, what we decided. My granddad decided that he will survive no matter what. He had to leave the childhood behind. My mother was 13 when her dad died, the same granddad, and she had to start to become a head of the family because her mother couldn't take care of the family anymore. And she, at the age of 13, she had to decide, I will survive no matter what. She had to leave the childhood behind. When I was 13, I was kidnapped by 6 Russian men in Russian mountains, where my mom was on business trip. My life changed, my fate changed, but I had to decide that I will survive no matter what. And when my son got 13, I knew that now I have to interrupt the pattern, because I've learned through the years of studying inherited family trauma, transgenerational trauma, I understood that there's the pattern. And I want your listener to understand that look at the ages, what's there as a pattern. There are happenings that are synchronized with your grandparents. So then you understand that there is a pattern that has to be disrupted. And I had to do it for my son, and we had the loop of 2 months only, because my granddad, when he was, he died when he was 38. 38 is altogether a number 11. My son, when the loop is, he was 38 and my mom was 13, there's a loop. Then when I was 47, my son was 13, 4 and 7 are 11, 11 and 13. So there was just a 2 months loop where I had to change the loop. I had to close the loop so that it won't happen again. And it's so scary, I think of it. I knew that there were like 2 last days in the loop, 2 last days. And my husband brought to my son I don't know the English word for that, but it's a very fast thing that you step on and it...
Oh, like a treadmill?
Yeah, but it thrives on the streets.
Oh, like a one wheel or
Yeah,
a scooter.
A scooter,
Yeah.
exactly, scooter, yeah, it didn't come to my mind. And I looked at it and I knew I have to do something before something happens. I just knew. And the scooter was not unpacked yet. We went outside to my house. I took my son's hands and we did the work together. I asked all my ancestors to come and to heal this place. And we did this work together with my son, and he was so spot on. We prayed, we asked forgiveness, not from my granddad, but we asked the forgiveness from granddad's mother, who was mourning, who was still in the worry that something will happen at the age of 13. I had to forgive the grandmom. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations. I had to forgive 5 generations back in order to save my son. And that night, I knew it's gonna happen. At that night, I had a podcast at my place in Estonia, and suddenly I felt something happened. Now it happened. And my son steps into the room with my husband. My husband is a little bit shocked. And I look at my son, and he's all bloody. He's all, like, his head is bloody, his knee, and he's crying. And he said, he didn't say, "Mom, something happened with me." He said, "Mom, I didn't die." Can you imagine that moment? And we were both in this moment, and we looked at each other, and I said, we did it.
Wow.
We did it. So when he was falling, he said that, "Mom, I thought that now I'm gonna die." And he said, "But I didn't, I survived." Wow. So this is the ancestral pattern that could change the lives if you work with that. That's why it's so important. That's why. So I wanted to just share the story, because it is very important to understand why we're talking about these things in order to save our children.
Yes, the future.
The future.
Thank you for sharing that. I have chills. Such a powerful story.
Yeah.
And your son, how old is he now?
He's now 14. He's 13. He's
Oh,
still
wow.
13
He's
because
still 13.
he got in summer 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
And that's why there's loop. He got in summer, July, he got 13. I was still 47, and October 3rd, I got 48.
Oh.
So there was a loop.
Wow.
Yeah. At 11:13.
That's so powerful.
Yeah. So
and you did it.
Yeah, and we did it. And now I don't have this anxiety anymore.
Right.
I don't, because I know it's done, it's finished. All right, are you ready for the reading?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm intrigued and excited.
All right.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this podcast episode. Without you, I would not be where I am today. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and follow the podcast. And if you haven't already checked out my vlog formatted videos, please do. There I show exclusive behind the scenes on my lifestyle, my routines, my travels, friends, business, relationships, etc. And it's the more laid back, low-key version of the life. Stay tuned for more, and thank you so much again. And let's get back into this amazing episode.
All right. Before we write here anything down, okay, let's do it. So you're gonna write your name here, and you're gonna circle it, and then maybe put 4 people, not more, because we don't have. Usually I do it for 2 hours, but right now write down here maybe 4 or 3 people who influence your life. You think that they influence your life, yeah?
Okay.
And circle them. Close the circle.
Okay.
So right now she's writing, she's drawing her name and putting the circles around the names, and that's how I read the energies, and I start to tell her what I see, what I feel. Okay, now I'm gonna check. All right, what I feel most definitely, and very, you have a lot of people here, like a lot of people here that are still missing from this paper. And I think that this is your ancestry. This is your ancestry. This is your real ancestry that are not here, but they hold your back. They got you. So I wanted to say in Estonian language, sõnotses mõttes, word by word. the word that wants to come through is that you're not alone, and you should write it somewhere and put it out there, or if you have it already, like, you are not alone. It's something. This sentence is playing a huge role, like, kind of like, have you said that to yourself, or why this word, you're not alone?
I have said it to myself, and my mom says it to me a lot too when I'm going through things. She said, "You're so lucky. You have such a good family. You have so many amazing friends." I never truly felt alone because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's important sentence, and remember it, and maybe it has influenced you. Like, yeah, like we are saying that we're saying some things to our babies in order to heal them. Yeah. So okay, let's go further. What's the message that we have to know from this paper right now? What triggers you is that maybe that you think that you don't have the roots, that you miss your roots, and that you are not on the earth, you are in between, kind of, like you don't feel like you have roots, and it may cause some insecurities, your lack of security, like in your choices, in your if we don't have our roots, then we're rootless. It means that we are in between somewhere, and it means that when you're making the choices, you always need someone to tell this is the good or bad choice, or if you trust more your intuition than you trust your, let's say, logic. So you go for a intuition more. What's good to be done in order for you to have the roots is when you have your first child. Then you build your own roots, because you have to build roots for someone else.
Right.
And then you have your own, like, family and traditions you can pass and inherit to your child. And most definitely tell her history, like, so that, because the third generation is the healer of our for example, if I have my son is he's healing my mother, because he's third generation. Third generation always heals your parents. So when she comes, then she starts to heal your real parents.
Wow. I do think about having children and how crazy a feeling and experience it might be for me, because it will be the first blood-related person that I know or see and feel or touch. I think it's going to be transformative.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah.
It will be. Very strong connection. Okay, what else do we see here? So what's the message? Yeah. So if you have your children, you'll build your roots, and you go. Then it's time for you to go back and take a deep look into your ancestry. So it could be that you'll go to the journey with her, or you start to open the doors that you haven't opened yet, because you feel that you have to inherit something. You have to inherit a true story of yourself. What else do we get from here? I'm doing a very basic thing right now. We got it from here that you've always been like safe. You've always been provided a safe environment, like your parents have given you a safe environment, but because of maybe some people don't want to listen or hear it, that your parents have given you a safe environment in order for them to feel safe. So that there is a both ways. If you're safe, they're safe.
Right.
Which is not bad. It's just sometimes it takes away our surviving. Our surviving mechanism doesn't start to work as it should if we're overprotected. So that's why sometimes parents, if they take over, then it's not a good thing. It's rather,
Yes. I feel like my mom was definitely, especially when I was younger, overprotective and all about safety, and probably why I'm all about safety too. But that's interesting.
Okay, I'm not gonna read from here right now because I feel like I need to read from your energy. Okay, if you come closer to me, yeah, we. Okay. Do you mind if I do the massage?
Yes.
Okay. You've been crying a lot, actually, and the older you get, more answers your soul wants, and it's still the urge, the need to find your place, to put the puzzle together, and that's why you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. Is there something we need to know right now? We just want to know what we need to give as a message to you right now. Do you have a relationship with someone, or is it like, do you have a relationship?
Not right now.
Oh, it's very close.
It ended.
Oh, it ended?
It ended 2 weeks ago.
Oh, right. But I feel like it's here. Maybe it ended and maybe it will start again. I don't know. It's very close here right now. I feel like. All right. Just tell me if it's too personal. There is something deeper. Yeah. There is something that caused that. I mean, something caused that break, and it left you a mark. It left you a. You were very, very close to build a family. You were very close to, because it's still here. It's in your energies. Like it's still here, and it's kind of like it hasn't ended. It's still here, so that's why it's like I cannot say that it has ended. Maybe it has, but so you are really, really much in an energy where you are about to build a family. So let it be as it is. You have to just let go of some things. Let's see what else is here. I would say that start to trust yourself more. So, because you don't have the roots, you go for, I don't know, it's not even asking, is it right or wrong, but you kind of like, something in you looks for this plus or minus sign, like, go more for how do you feel, like what is your gut is telling you.
Yeah.
Go for that, and then you You won't do any mistakes. Okay, what else is there that we need to know? Let's go to your childhood. In your childhood, too many things. Did they buy you a lot of like toys and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of things that my mom liked. Yeah. Lots of things.
Lots of things, yeah. But you appreciated these things. You knew how to appreciate these things. Why is it important right now? What's the message from there? The message is just a second. The message is all right. Things, like things, they have a certain meaning for you. It means that because of the things that your parents bought you, they wanted you to feel secure, to feel loved, to feel, because that's why parents buy things. They wanted you to feel happy. And right now it could be that it has become a pattern, that certain things give you the feeling that you're cared, that you're loved, that you're significant. So things give you some certain feeling that comes from the childhood. And these things could be small things, but very particular, very certain things. And is it good or bad? I think that I cannot say is it bad. It's bad, but don't determine your happiness to have a certain thing. You may not need it, and you still can be happy. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be kindest. You can be you. Even if you say fuck off, it can be you. It's you. It's you, and you can say that because it's okay. What else? What else we need to know from the childhood? There was a boy you loved.
Which one?
There was one. There was a boy you loved. You wrote about him. Did you have a journal or something?
I did, and I still do.
Yeah, you wrote about him, and he had a very big part in your heart. So he was there too. You left something there in this dream, in this imaginary love. You left there something, a part of you, where you decided that you're not good enough. You're not enough, and you have to take that back. So the journal that you wrote about him, just write one paragraph where you're letting him go and you're gaining back your own power from this memory, because there is something that still holds you from achieving your best, achieving the love you deserve, and you just have to let him go, like your soul has to let him go. Then you gain back your power and you become a queen. Okay, let's come to this day. Let's come to this day. What is the message for the day today? What stops you? Okay, let's ask what stops you from achieving your thing that you want to achieve, or what stops you from getting on the next level. You're doing everything by yourself. Maybe we need to stop that one. and get help.
Yes.
So we should build a mantra. I have the best team to serve millions. This is my mantra. I give it to you too. So I have the best team to serve millions. This is your new mantra. I have the best team to serve millions. My mantra alone to you. All right. You're afraid to demand, but you should sometimes. Demand your right. Demand your right to do it perfectly. Demand your right to serve the way you think it's the right way to serve. Not belittling yourself, even in your thoughts. Oh, I cannot have a team because I want this thing this way. But actually, you could learn how to delegate the way that they would feel happy and they would feel as part of your team. We need a team to inspire us. We don't need workers. We need people who are passionate about what we do and they want to be in your team. Passion is number one thing we need. So ask for people who are passionate about what you do and you have a team. This is your weakest link. And you have to become, you don't have to anything, but just a suggestion that you have to believe in your dream. Believe more in yourself, in your dream. Put your step down and say, I know who I am, therefore I know who I'm looking for, and therefore I know what's my purpose on this planet. I'm gonna achieve what God wants me to achieve. I speak through God, I see through God, and I serve the way God wants me to serve. And everything I do is because I want to change the world to be a better place. That's it. I'm going to leave you here with that reading right now. And I think that it takes time for you to integrate it. But yes, that's the way it will be right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was
How do you feel?
incredible and very spot on. Especially the team aspect and allowing myself to fully believe in myself and live the way God would want me to. I've refound my faith, I think, after hitting rock bottom a couple of years ago, and I think I actually lost it in my most previous relationship in a lot of ways too, and I'm coming back to this place of allowing myself to trust God's plan and trust myself.
Exactly. All right.
I mean, like, I feel like things are back in place in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I feel like every time I do readings, I feel like God has spoken through me, so that I've served a person who needed this information. It's never about me, it's about, I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel.
Yeah.
So now beautiful. I give you the one manifesto card.
Okay.
Just for a final message. Oh yeah, you do that. And oh my God, I have something here. Yeah, instructions. So you shuffle them and then take a message for today.
For today.
For today. And your eyes, always when you're picking the card, then look with your eyes. Don't close your eyes, and because your eyes are the soul's way how to see the world. Oh. So don't close your eyes, even if you see more when you close your eyes. Give yourself another chance.
That's huge.
Read it.
Have you recently started to give yourself conditions based on what you're allowed to be happy? Only if am I allowed to do this and that? How about you start being happy right here and right now. Ask yourself, what's stopping me? Why do I keep myself from being happy, from doing all the things I want deep in my heart? Every single excuse you have been making is in your head. Come down from there into your heart and now ask again. Nobody else has created these limits for you. These all came from you. Now make the decision to give up on these restrictions and start living.
That's what we've been talking about the whole time. Come from your head to your heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle.
I'm going to practice this on a daily basis, and I have to remind myself of this, and thank you for giving me such an amazing experience in reading to really hone that in and drive it home for me.
Yeah. Thank you for this opportunity to share that.
Thank you. You are very gifted, and the way you speak and the way you carry yourself and the wisdom you bring to this world is truly amazing. So thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
And how can people connect with you, find you?
If they search my name, Carmiola De Santura, and everything will come up.
Amazing, that's what I did, and everything popped up. So thank you again, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you all the listeners who were here with us. And if you could relate with anything we spoke about, then you're already changing the world, changing the environment around you. So make a change so your children can live in a change. I do hope that everything that we shared will be seen, will be heard, and you are making your first steps on your next level. So thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated. You have a gift.
Bye.
Thanks for coming today.
Bye.